Hello everyone, it's Sandra here. Welcome to my channel. Today I just wanted to share some quick news that I came across very recently that I am so excited about that I just had to get on here and talk about it. The first bit of news is late last night, Mark Lawrence got on his Facebook page and announced that he had partnered with Jason Chan again to work on the cover art for the 10th anniversary of Prince of Thorns. This year is the 10th anniversary since Prince of Thorns was first published. It is Mark Lawrence's first published novel. To celebrate, he and Jason Chan are working together on this cover art for a Grim Oak hardback signed edition of this book. I'm going to get in line to pre-order or order mine as soon as it's available, but I am so psyched. On Mark Lawrence's Facebook page, he dropped a link to a poll that he's running to see what everyone's thoughts are on the concept art that Jason Chan recently provided. I'm gonna drop what that artwork is on screen. It is a rough sketch just so you can see. I personally think this concept art is perfect. Because Mark Lawrence has said that he wants the cover art for the protagonist, George Ancraft, to progress over the three covers. So starting as Child George, the Prince, and then the King, and then the Emperor. Kind of his full story arc illustrated across the three covers for these special editions. There will be a King of Thorns and Emperor of Thorns special Grim Oak hardback signed editions that will be available when they hit their 10th anniversaries. This cover here, I love it. I love it because it's intensely emotional. It's a powerful image. This child has gone through hell. He's about to unleash hell of his own. He's kneeling on a pile of bodies. He's gripping the blade of a sword that looks an awfully lot like a cross. If you look in the background, there are tons of cross sword imagery. And then if you look closely, you can see the briar thorns kind of twining around George's wrists and binding him to this blade, which just gave me chills because it's such an integral part of his origin story. The raven on top is just like the cherry on top because it kind of alludes back to that very first two lines of Prince of Thorns, which is ravens, always the ravens, in that opening scene. I am so psyched for this edition. In the description box below, I'm going to drop a link to that poll so that you can vote for yourself. If you are not acquainted with the Prince of Thorns story, it is a grim, dark fantasy, so there is a lot of violent things happening. It's graphic, kind of a content warning. There is an off-page rape scene that happens early on in the book. I really hope that these types of things don't deter you from giving the series a try. I think Mark Lawrence's writing is so poignant and it just does such an incredible job at summarizing just the human condition. And I love the pithy statements that he includes throughout his book. So I can't recommend the series enough. I actually did a non-spoilery and then spoilery book review video a couple of months ago for his Broken Empire series. I'll link that below in case you're interested in checking it out. Definitely give this series a read. It is so rewarding and so satisfying and was unlike anything I had previously read, and it was my favorite read of 2020. The next bit of news that I have is also Mark Lawrence, Prince of Thorns related. So a long time ago, he put on Goodreads that as soon as Prince of Thorns hit 100,000 ratings and reviews on there, he was going to give away a very rare edition of the Grim Oak Omnibus for Broken Empire. So it includes Prince of Thorns, King of Thorns, Emperor of Thorns, and some of those Road Brothers stories. It includes all of that. It's signed, it has illustrations in it. The cover art is beautiful. It's young George trapped in the briar bush. Stunning. I came to Mark Lawrence's work very late. I completely missed out on the opportunity to buy this omnibus for myself. So once Prince of Thorns hits 100,000 ratings and reviews on Goodreads, he is going to be assembling a contest of sorts to give away that very rare edition. And this edition, I have seen it on eBay go for several hundreds of dollars. My third bit of news is a couple of days ago, I woke up to news on Twitter that I had won a physical arc for Jay Kristoff's new epic vampire series called Empire of the Vampire, which is going to be released worldwide mid-September of this year. I was so ecstatic. I have never won a physical arc before, so I was super psyched about getting this. Empire of the Vampire was actually one of my most anticipated book releases for 2021. So I was over the moon when I won. He ran a contest for this that ended on Valentine's Day. Essentially, you were to create a meme or, similar media to kind of celebrate and spread the news of the US edition cover release. This was my entry in that. I was so shocked to win. I wasn't expecting to win at all. It was such an awesome, pleasant surprise. The physical arcs are going to be shipped out maybe around end of April. I'm not sure yet if we're allowed to do a review or post a review. They can be a little bit weird about releasing those types of things for an arc. So I'm just gonna hold off on posting any kind of review of that arc when I get it until I find out more. But I'm super excited about it. Some news about Jay Kristoff's editions. He's posted a UK edition, which is beautiful. The US edition, which is beautiful. The cover art is also by Jason Chan. And then he has recently released an Australian edition. There are all kinds of special editions out there and to be announced, I believe. All editions, regardless of which one you order, they're going to have the same set of illustrations in it, which are done by Bon Orthwick, who I will link her in the description box below, but she's an amazing artist. The entire book is going to be illustrated, so there are going to be many, like tens of illustrations in this thing, and I can't wait to see it. I'm so psyched. Another call out is all US pre-orders for the US edition of Empire of the Vampire is going to be signed by Jay Kristoff. Every single US edition pre-order will be signed by Jay Kristoff. I'm super excited about it. I pre-ordered my copy. I just can't wait to read this thing. My last bit of news is just kind of like rumblings. It's not really anything concrete, but a viewer recently called out on one of my videos that Sarah J Maas has posted on Goodreads the next 2 books that will be in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. So I checked Goodreads, and sure enough, there are 2 untitled editions that have been put in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series, book 5 and book 6. Word on the streets is that there will be a novella released sometime later this year. So in kind of that format of A Court of Frost and Starlight, which is book 3.5 in this series. I will take anything Sarah J Maas writes. If it's a novella that comes out in September, October, I'm going to devour that thing. I cannot get enough of Sarah J Maas's world and her characters and just her writing, and I'm so excited for it. So I hope it's true. I hope we get another ACOTAR series novella later this year. In the meantime, I can always reread Silver Flames, or I expect Crescent City 2 to come out later this year. So I am so pumped about that one. Those are the only things I wanted to share that I have been super excited about the last couple of days. On top of the Shadow and Bone trailer that was just released for Leigh Bardugo's Netflix adaptation of her very first series that she wrote, like, there's just so much excitement going on. And her next book in the Grishaverse, Rule of Wolves, that comes out a couple of weeks before the Netflix series drops. And it's such a good, fun time for reading, and I'm all about it. I just wanted to share my excitement. I hope you enjoyed this bit of news too. Definitely check out Mark Lawrence's books if you're not acquainted with them. Same with Jay Kristoff. I'm so excited for the Prince of Thorns 10th Anniversary Edition and Empire of the Vampire. I'm just so here for it. I will see you later this week, and in the meantime, stay healthy, stay warm, and happy reading. Bye.